Hello everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing day. My name is Kyle Cormier. I am a 19-year-old entrepreneur. I started my journey about a year ago when I was 18 years old and a senior in high school. I just did my first $15,000 month last month, and I am projecting to do $20,000 a month in 2023 minimum. That's not me trying to brag to you guys or anything. That's just me trying to give you guys some sense of credibility here. I still do have a lot to learn. Trust me, I don't know everything by any means, but I have learned a lot in the past year, and there are a lot of things that I wish I knew when I got started, and so that's why I'm here, is to give you guys some realistic expectations and some sense of direction when you start your business, because there's a lot of things that these YouTube gurus really just don't tell you guys, and they didn't tell me either, so I just would like to share with you guys some of that information. So let's start off with what you're going to need in order to go out on your first job. A lot of these people will tell you that all you need is $1,000 to go buy a pressure washer, some hose, a surface cleaner, and you're good to go, ready to head out on your first job. And while there is some truth to that, and you probably could do that, I would not advise it at all. There are a few things that I would never go to a job without. The first thing you're going to want to do is make an LLC. That is very important, very important. It only costs about $125 if I remember correctly. All you got to do is go to your state's website, fill out the form, and file the LLC, and you're good to go. And after you do that, what you're going to want to do is go to the IRS's website and get your tax ID number, because you need a tax ID number in order to open a bank account. And you don't want to be using your personal bank account for the business, because it'll just become a mess. Trust me. And then once you have an LLC, your tax ID number, and then a bank account, the most important thing, listen to me here, you do not, under any circumstances, want to do any jobs without liability insurance. You're going to want to shop around. Don't just go with the first quote that you see, because some of them will be outrageously expensive. Like, I got quoted for probably $1,000 a month, and I only ended up paying $100 a month for my policy. So really shop around, try and find the best price, and then once you have those things, your LLC, tax ID number, bank account, and your liability insurance, you're going to want $1 million general liability policy. You should expect to pay anywhere from $100 to $300 for that. Then you're ready to buy equipment. And there's a lot of different opinions on equipment, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it, because there's plenty of other videos on equipment. What I recommend is you're going to definitely want a pressure washer, obviously, but the number one thing that I would say is try and get a belt drive pressure washer. Don't get electric, absolutely not. Just don't even consider it. You want gas, but try and go belt drive, because once you get a buffer tank, because you're going to have a higher gallon per minute pressure washer, you're going to need a belt drive pressure washer in order to feed off the buffer tank. Gear driven ones, you have to have a supply pressure in order for them to run, whereas a belt drive will actually pull the water from the tank, so you don't need supply pressure, and that'll just keep you from having to upgrade very quickly in the early days. Now, you don't necessarily need a dedicated soft wash pump, but you definitely do want to start with at least a downstream injector or an X-Jet, because if you don't have one of those two things, you won't be able to do house washes, you can't do roof cleanings with a downstream injector or X-Jet. You need a dedicated soft wash system to do roof cleanings, because you have to be able to have a higher concentration of SH. So at least try and get something, so that way you can advertise for more different services. Okay, so now that you have your LLC, your insurance, your bank account, you got all that stuff, now you're ready to start actually trying to get jobs. So a lot of people will tell you to get your first jobs, you just want to reach out to your friends, your family, everyone you know. Just tell everyone. Don't care about feeling embarrassed or whatever. You're probably gonna be making more money than most of them in a year anyways, so just ask everyone. And if you can't, then I'm about to get into that, but that is a good start. However, the only issue with it is that you're gonna run out of people to get jobs from very quickly. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to spend $29, and that's monthly, to get an Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, because then you'll have access to Photoshop, and you're going to want to learn how to use that. And then you want to create flyers. I'm going to go into flyer design in another video because there's a lot of things to talk about, but you're going to want to design flyers and order probably around at least 5,000 flyers. That'll cost you anywhere from $400 to $800 depending on the size of flyer you get. It all depends. And the reason you're going to want so many is because you're going to be handing them out in different areas. You're going to want to, so then once you've designed your flyers and ordered them, you're going to want to find at least 2 areas of at least 12 to 1,500 homes, and you're going to be passing out in these every other week. So, for example, the first week, you're going to pass out in Area 1. And after you pass out the first week in Area 1, the next week you're going to pass out in Area 2, and then the third week you're going to go back to Area 1, and then so on and so forth. The reason for this is because, like, say you were just to pass out all 5,000 flyers in different homes, you're probably not going to get any work, and if you do, it's going to be a very small amount. So the key to flyers is frequency and quantity. So when I say frequency, I'd say that's more important than the quantity even, and what I mean by that is you're going to want to pass out in the same area at least 3 times, hopefully 4 to 5, because when you pass out the first time, you're going to get probably no results. The second time, very little, possibly none. I got none on my second round when I first started, and then on the third round, let me tell you, that's when you're going to get the results. Okay, so it's going to be hard. I know you're going to get no calls. You're going to be doing all this work, but it's worth it. Trust me. Once you get to that third round of passing out flyers, you're going to get a lot of jobs. Okay, especially if you have 2 areas of 12 to 1,500 homes, you're going to be doing pretty good. And then, like for example, my first $15,000 month last month, all off flyers, no digital advertising whatsoever. And my mentor, he had his first $20,000 month on flyers. He got up to $40,000 a month just on flyers. So it definitely works. People don't believe it, but it really does work. So, and eventually what'll happen is you'll start realizing that you no longer have enough time to pass out as many flyers as you would like, and like as you used to be able to, because you're so busy with the jobs you're getting from the flyers. And I'm going to get into what to do with when you get to that situation in the next video. But the key is, when you first start, you want, as long as the sun is out, you want to be doing one of these 3 things. You want to either be cashing checks at the bank, you want to be doing jobs, or you want to be passing out flyers. If you're not doing one of those 3 things, the person that is doing those 3 things all day, every day, is going to beat you. I promise. So in the early days, if you focus on that all day, every day, all you do is do jobs, pass out flyers, and cash checks, I promise you'll be doing good. Every day of the week, try and do 200 to 300 flyers. That'll make it so you can do 1,000 to 1,500 per week. That means you can do one of those areas per week, which is what you want to do. You want to do one area every other week. So in reality, you could also do 3 areas. You could do Area 1 first week, Area 2 the next week, Area 3, and then go back to Area 1. That's actually the best like frequency to do it in, is like once every, with 2 weeks in between. But yeah, that's really what you want to do, is just focus on handing out flyers, do it as much as you can, hammer that shit, and then eventually you won't have to do it anymore. And I'm going to get into what to do once you start running out of time to hand them out. You're basically going to start leveraging other people's time to make you more money, and then you'll be making enough money to start other forms of advertising, and I'm going to get into all of that in future videos. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is what these steps will definitely get you going really well in the beginning, I promise you that. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.